That's mad.
Yeah.
That's kind of lit though.
Yeah.
There's no rules, right?
If
So
you're not comfortable in the studio in Eka Lane, we have
a studio here.
right here, my friend. Feel free to come, use our equipment.
How much you charging?
Hey guys, welcome back to Conscious Conversation. It's your girl Miriam. You know how we do. Today I've got a very interesting guest. Someone that actually I haven't, I kind of know, but I haven't properly delved into what you do. I've seen a couple things. I've seen you on a couple platforms, all of this sort of stuff. Actually, we have a mutual friend, which I'll get into later. But
is it? Oh.
Yeah. It's alright.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, today guys I have Blackman the Traveler. You can introduce yourself, tell them who you are, what you do, what you're about, all of that good stuff.
So basically, guys, so it's Blackman the Traveler, and I'm an up and coming young entrepreneur that specialises in more travelling content.
Okay. What made you want to get into that?
Ooh, you know what? I was just going through certain stuff in my life, and then eventually, I was just like living in Australia for 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah. So I lived in Australia just to escape certain stuff what was happening back in my area in Stratford.
So is that where you were like raised?
Born and raised in Stratford, in
East London. Big up East Side. That's my side as well.
Big up East London.
Big up the East Side.
Yeah, so born and raised in Stratford, and then basically what happened is there was one of my friends shouted her out. She must have shouted me out on Instagram, and she said, "Oh, I got to start a YouTube channel."
How long ago was this, if you don't know?
This was in 2018, I remember.
Okay, all right.
And this is when I just got to Australia. So she was like, start a YouTube channel. I was like, nah, I'll just ignore her. But this girl will send me DMs on Instagram like at least 2 days a week.
Right.
And I must say to my partner, like, look, man, this girl's bothering me. And she was like, just ignore her. But then I'm like, if there's a sign from God, then you got to take the opportunity.
100, defo.
So I looked into it. I typed black British travel bloggers. It was mostly females that were coming up.
Okay.
But then I typed male travel bloggers, and there wasn't really that guy. But it was mostly females or couples.
Okay, alright, cool.
Yeah. And then after that, I thought, okay, I just came up with a niche,
and boom,
it started.
What's your ethnicity?
So originally, my mum is full Ugandan, both parents from East Africa, and then my father's father is full Tanzanian, and my father's mum is full Rwandese. So that makes me Ugandan, Tanzanian, Rwandan. Yeah,
proper East Africa, you're just there.
Yeah.
That's. Do you know what? Have you been back home?
I've been back home five times.
How was that?
It was the first time I went. I was young.
Okay.
You know when you go secondary school and your parents send you back home.
Yeah. I know. I don't want to look too well.
I remember when I was young and I used to misbehave, and my mum's like, "Well, I'm gonna send you back home," and then she used to threaten to leave me there if I don't behave. So first time I went there like when I was I think 10 or 11.
Okay.
But it was a culture shock because obviously I wasn't used to Africa, seeing how everyone's like in the villages and that. And then when I started to go once every 2-3 years, it was good.
Okay.
Yeah,
so obviously you've been back home. Do you think you could ever live back home?
No.
Why? Considering that you're a traveller, that's how I see things. Because I'm like, okay, cool. Like you've been around, you've seen all different types of lifestyles, cultures, like way of life, all of that.
Yeah.
And then when people go back, because me personally, I feel like I love my home.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could live there, but I could be there for about a year.
Were you from originally?
Algeria.
Okay, cool. Okay.
So North Africa. Yeah. I go to Algeria all the time, so I feel like I could go and live there for about a year, but I don't know if I can spend a lifetime there, and I don't know if that's because I was raised here. And it's just embedded in me for me to live a type of way here. But I always ask people that, especially because you travel a lot, so you have the exposure.
Yeah.
So why do you not think that you could live there?
I think for me to live back home because I've been more to Uganda more than I've been to Tanzania or Rwanda. So all I know is Uganda. I've been to Tanzania once. I've never been to Rwanda because of my father's side.
Right.
But in terms of Uganda, I wouldn't live there because it's like, I mean, it's got everything. You know, it's got culture, it's got rawness, everything's like authentic.
Yeah.
But the reason why I wouldn't live there because I think there's just too many like personal problems for me to go over there. In terms of if you're up and coming, people's going to want to expect money from you.
Of course, yeah.
And then, of course, in terms of politics, it's not stability back home in Africa. That's one of the reasons.
Shame.
Yeah.
I feel like that's everyone's answer, especially like when you know your lands and you know and you go back home, especially African cultures. That's always the answer. It's either to get by. It's always you have to cash out because that's the only way to make it in an African country.
That's true.
Because the government's corrupt, and then that's what it cycles back into. But
And the stability
mad.
as well, because I need to
Yeah.
stay somewhere with the stability. And Africa, it depends what part of Africa you want to go to. But especially in East Africa, in Uganda, there's always like insecurity. So no, I wouldn't want to live there.
I was supposed to go there last year.
To Uganda?
Yeah.
For what?
I do a lot of charity work there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I was supposed to go there last year. Then April, actually, I was supposed to go.
Okay.
And then, COVID came.
Yeah.
But I'm planning on going either next year or the year after, hopefully.
Whereabouts are you going to go to Uganda?
Kampala. Is that where you're from?
Yeah.
I don't even know if I said that right.
Yeah, Kampala,
guys. I don't want to be ignorant. But yeah, that's where the main base is. So I was supposed to go there. Is that where you're from?
My mum is from
Okay.
Kampala, more from the outskirts, from the villages.
Yeah.
But if you go, let me know, and maybe we might do a video together.
Link up. Yes, that would be a vibe. Let's do that.
Okay, let's do that.
Let's go into. I want to go into your story, but I want to kind of go into the stuff that maybe people that go into your channel won't necessarily pick up on, because if you're a travel, would you consider yourself a blogger, like a travel blogger?
Yeah, I might as well. Yeah,
I'm gonna just lump you in that category. But you're the travel blogger, like your personality might come out in certain situations or whatever, but people don't really know your story. Like, so for the people that I know that travel normally were raised in an environment where they never afforded it, like when they were young. So me personally, I know we didn't go on holiday until later on in life because of financial situations, and that makes me love to want to go out and go and travel and go and see everything, because we could have never done that. My parents couldn't do that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So what's your story, and kind of why traveling?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Go into that.
I would say maybe me and you probably must have had like the same backgrounds, because I never came from a luxurious family.
Right.
You know what I mean? I come from Newham, so I'm pretty sure everyone knows Newham is known for crime rate and all different negative poverty and all the Olympic stuff. But when I was raised, I used to go. I went there when I was 11. Then the second time I went there was when I was 16 in 2009.
Okay.
So when I finished year 11 going into college, so my mum took me back there to actually see the family after a certain amount of years.
Right.
So I never had that luxurious lifestyle. So then, why traveling? I tried football. Football didn't work out well. Football didn't work out well. And then because it was a sign from God when that girl just kept on DMing me, my friend Loretta. So when I looked into it a bit more, I thought to myself, there is no person of colour from inner city London, or let's just say the UK in general, that does raw, authentic travelling content. Because when you do watch travelling content, I'm not good, like, it might sound a bit rude, but the majority of people that you do see are white Westerners. Whether we like it or not.
100%, yeah.
So when you see white Westerners people on this type of platform, so imagine for a white Westerner to come to Africa and show Africa, but their way.
Through their eyes.
That's what I'm saying.
You're going back to my
But
land.
that's not the real way to show it. So then if you get a person of colour that goes to another country that's got a person of colour, whatever, or maybe back home to Africa, and they show the real Africa, the real roots. Yeah. That's what I inspired to do, but through travelling.
Do you know what's interesting about that? I had a conversation with somebody about educating yourself on who you are, right? And I said to them, you would never go to somebody from, for example, no one take offense to this, we're just speaking, right? I would never go to a white man and ask a white man about my history in terms of my bloodline, like my roots. I would always go to my people, whether it's family, whether it's people of my culture, X, Y, and Z. And I think that falls a lot into the travel and tourism sector of the world, whether it be the business side, whether it just be blogging, whatever. You tend to see people who may or may not come from a place of privilege and are able to, splash out and go to these places, but will go and tell essentially our stories and our cultures and our roots through a completely different perspective.
100%.
And it's almost not real. Do you know what I mean? So it's refreshing for someone like you to be like, well, actually, like, this is who I am and this is where I'm from, and I can take that back home, but I can also take it here and here. Do you know what I mean? Because
when you do watch travelling content, when people do go back home to either Africa or maybe South America or Asia, they do all this funny materialistic stuff. Like, how much can you buy for $10, or they do all this little cinematic stuff. When you watch my content, it's raw, it's authentic. So when I do travel, I go to villages and slums. I do hitchhiking, which is a bit weird, but that's a bit authentic and rawness. But when I do visit the villages and the slums, the reason why I do that is to show people, look, there's still people out there that live in these predicaments.
Defo, yeah.
And the way they live in, that's real, that's authentic. So I'm trying to show that that authentic and rawness.
Do you know what that reminds me of? It's like, I don't know how much of this would be relatable to your culture, but I know a lot of people that will go back home and before they'll be buying fresh clothes. They'll be making sure they have the latest perfume, the latest garms, the latest this, to go back home where it's a third world country where nobody has anything or has probably ever even seen that type of designer on somebody.
True.
And like, I remember having a conversation with someone thinking, but why? Like when I go, because I've been going to Algeria on my own since I was 16. So
by yourself?
Yeah, by myself. So I go on my own.
Brave. I started to go Uganda by myself like 3 years ago.
A lot of people have said that to me, but I just think, like, for me, it's important to know my land. Like, I know Algeria probably, I can get around this city probably better than I can get around London. I'll be very honest with you. But I took it upon myself to go and be with people and, like, you know, take public transport, walk places, like I'll go, like, especially back home, they don't care. I can be dressed in just like a jubba or just like a anything, like pajamas, anything, go out to the shop, come back, I can go central in home attire and they don't care because that's just how they're living. And when I first started doing that, I saw a whole different side to my people, the people that, like, my family, even just experiences in terms of how you're treated and how you're welcomed, how you know, hospitality is a big thing in Africa in general. And when you humanize yourself and bring yourself back, I think it's the best experience anyone can go through. And a lot of people have a misconception of, if I'm going back home, especially when it's your own land, they need to go be a type of way, they need to go dress a type of way.
You don't have to. You don't have to.
Like I said to someone, she was like to me, oh, when I go back home, I'll never take public transport. Like I'll always take like a Uber or a taxi.
But why?
And I said to her, and I was like, for what reason?
Yeah.
She's like, I don't, like, that's just, I wouldn't do that. Like, why would I do that? I just thought, is this what London has done to you? Like, I just think that's mad.
I had the same problem. Like, I'll tell you a story. I went to Morocco with my cousin that's managing me and one of my cousins. So we went to Morocco for the first time. Beautiful country. So when we went there, they wanted to use Uber. They wanted to use taxis. And I had an argument with them. I said to them, look, we've gone to Morocco to see the beautiness and the diversity that this country holds. They're like, no, we got to take a taxi. I said, look, I'm taking public transport. So we had an argument, and then eventually I took the taxi with them. And the next day I jumped on the bus with my cousin. He said, bro, what we're doing is crazy. I said, no, what we're doing is real and authentic.
Yeah, it's real life.
Like, it's like when they come to London, they got to take one of these buses, one of these trains, and they got to experience that London, you know what I mean, that London lifestyle.
But that's why you go to a different country, it's to experience culture, it's to experience their way of life. If you're going to bring the way you're living here and take it back home, it's not authentic, it's not organic, you're not having the full experience, you're just there for bands and a couple photos and that's it. Like, I don't know, I've never understood that personally. But what was Australia like? Because I have a couple friends that don't believe Australia is real. But
Australia is how can I describe Australia? First word I'll say, it's beautiful.
But
I'll say racist.
I was gonna get into that.
I'll say beautiful, racist, and I'll say it's unique.
It's quite a juxtaposition the way you said that. Beautiful, racist, but unique.
I'll tell you, beautiful in terms of it's got everything that you asked for.
Right.
All the landscapes. It's got desert, it's got beach, it's got sand.
Australia has
jungle,
desert? Wow.
In the north and like in the middle, like the Northern Territory.
Okay.
Yeah, I was there for like 4 or 5 months in the farm.
That's lit. That's so lit.
And then racism, in terms of racism, Australians have never seen, this is just from my perspective because I was there for 2 years, so they've never seen interracial relationships.
Okay.
So when they see like a black man with a Latino or a white girl with an Asian man, they stare at you and they ask you certain questions. But when they see a white and white person, they don't care. If they see a black and black person, they don't care.
Yeah, it's the mixing that bothers
and
them.
I've had a couple altercations in Sydney, but obviously there's a way to handle those situations.
Right, of course.
And in terms of unique, it's just it holds something that the UK doesn't have. You got that freedom, and it's just
really.
Yeah.
So go on.
Sorry, but it is a racist country.
Yeah.
In terms of like you will get it.
Have you experienced anything that is
I've had people ask me weird questions. Like, I worked as a waiter in Sydney,
Okay.
and then they kept on asking me where I'm from. So I was like, okay. I was like, I'm from London.
Yeah.
They're like, you're from England? I said, yeah. And then they were very like.
And we know you're trying to ask my ethnicity, but you're not
Yeah,
asking
yeah,
right. So I'm gonna just tell you where I'm from.
So I was like, I'm from England, and then but it's just the way they'll respond. They'll be like, you're from England? I'll be like, yeah. And then they were like, but where are you originally from? I'm like, oh, okay. Oh, now you want to know.
You want to know.
So my mum, like East Africa, my father, but I was born and raised in the UK. They were like, oh, okay. And I remember one customer said to me, I thought England was just like white people. So when he said that to me, I just had to hold it in because I'm giving them a service.
Of course, yeah.
I'm a waiter, so
Right.
I'm giving them a service, and I got to hold it in. So I looked at him, I was thinking, mate, this is why you're not educated.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's ignorance, I feel like, as well, nowadays. I don't think anyone really has the excuse to be ignorant anymore at all.
Yeah.
Especially in the age that we live in, like, you have access to everything and
Yeah,
anything.
yeah.
The fact that people choose to stay ignorant is a problem for me.
And the thing is with Australians, they're very funny. So the ones in the city, like in Sydney, are very like upscale. Sydney's a very fashionable, materialistic city. But when you go to Melbourne's like London. It's very diverse.
Okay.
It's a very hippie, artistic city. It's beautiful.
Oh, wow.
Melbourne's like a young population. So I loved Melbourne more than Sydney. And then when I went to the farm, the Australians in the farm are very old school mentality. Half of them I've never seen like people of colour. They stare at you.
That's mad.
Some of them don't wear shoes.
Yeah.
Like their toes are sticking out. It's very.
Do you know why this is important? Because I feel like a lot of people think that first world countries have seen it all, have experienced it all. They're diverse, they're accepting, and like for example, people will speak on Oriental countries and be like, well, they've never seen people of color X, Y, and Z, but. Oriental, you can't really compare an Oriental country, in my opinion anyways, to a place like Australia, New Zealand, America, X, Y, and Z, because you would have thought that, okay, like people are accepting, like the refugees were let in, all of this sort of stuff, like surely, you know, people are a bit more aware. But the fact that you said, okay, cool, I went to Australia, I spent time here, I even went and farmland and people aren't wearing shoes and they've never seen a black person, I think a lot of people are going to be shocked by that.
I'm telling you, even the people that I was with in the farm, a lot of us were shocked. But you know, it is Australians, a lot of them are humble people, but a lot of them, you do get the majority are racist. But what I said to some of my friends, no one is born racist.
Facts.
That's what I think. No one's born racist.
100%.
It's you're only going to be racist by your surroundings and your peer groups.
Definitely. It's taught.
It's the way you're educated. So I don't blame those Australians, the ones on the farm, by looking at me, or the ones in the city by asking me certain questions, because maybe they're not educated in the right way.
Defo.
So, but yeah, that was one of the weird experiences that I had there.
That's mad.
Yeah.
Let's talk about, how old were you when you first travelled on your own?
I was 19 or 18.
And where did you go?
I went to France, I'm not gonna lie to you.
Oh my God.
But you know what it is, I went to France because everyone was like Eiffel Tower, blah blah blah. So I went to Paris.
Okay, even worse, but keep going.
Yeah. So basically, when I went to Paris, I was like, wow, I'm in France. I remember I stayed near the Moulin Rouge.
Okay.
So I stayed around there, and then I went to the Eiffel Tower.
Right.
And then this is when I was a bit materialistic in it. So I remember I went to like the Louis Vuitton store and I bought all this Louis stuff. And
wow.
Then,
Look at you.
And I was like, what am I doing? But I loved Paris. Not the French people,
just
but the city, like the infrastructure is amazing. So yeah, that was my first place. Yeah.
And how long were you there for?
I was there for the weekend.
Oh, that's
from Friday, and I came back on Monday.
Alright, that's fine. It's a quick weekend trip. I can handle that, you know. Yeah. The Algerian in me is screaming, but it's fine.
You don't like Paris?
I think Paris is overly hyped.
Okay.
I think it's.
In what way?
I don't think it's as great as everybody makes. I've been to Paris many times. I've been to Paris in the summer, in the winter.
Yeah.
I went in November time. Like, I've been to France, but I just think if you get offended, you get offended at this point. But I just think Paris or France in itself is just very dirty.
Paris is a dirty city.
Paris is dirty.
I see a lot of rats.
Like, it's just
the train stations of it, you know.
It's just all over and I feel like the French as well. Like with me, a big thing is the people. I'll be honest. Like, if I go to, I understand there are ignorance is everywhere, and there are certain places you're just gonna have bad experiences. Cool, but I just feel like the French have something about them that is just a bit like.
they're very
get
proud.
off your high horse
Yeah,
because
they're
I'll
very
knock
proud.
you down.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I can't. Like every time I've gone, I've argued. Every time I've had an argument, I had a situation, and maybe it's I have different experiences because I'm a Muslim woman, whatever, and you know how France is with like the hijab and all of this sort of stuff. Cool, but if you're opening up your land for tourism, knowing that these people are coming from certain countries,
you need to accept and adapt.
Like just I'm bringing you money, right?
Yeah.
So what's anyways the French like. Yeah. Anywho,
So
obviously it's not
so
everybody.
You didn't like the experience, basically, overall.
I think, it's just not for me. Like France is just. I know the south of France is beautiful. I've not been there. I'll be honest. But I just feel I could just do without France as a whole.
Big up the French music, though. I'm not gonna lie to you.
French music is run by Africans. Let's not even do that.
Big up the French artists.
Come on, big up all the Algerians, the
Sofiane.
Come on.
Key Black.
Yeah, Soul King, all of them.
I listen to a lot of French, Arab, African music.
Yeah, come on. It's a vibe, but let's be honest. Even the French, they come and take.
Of course.
From
they steal elements.
But that's a whole separate conversation for a different day. Cool. Let's talk about your brands.
Yeah.
Right. Blackman the Traveler. I think you've established. Go on. Okay. I think you've established that your goal is, to be. Well, I think I actually saw you say something that your goal is to be the first black man to. Is it to travel all over? What is your goal? Go on.
You know, a lot of people get misunderstood.
Misinterpret.
So basically,
right?
the way it works is, so the whole concept of Blackman the Traveller, it's very similar to Nipsey Hussle's type of theme.
Interesting.
So,
cool.
One of the people that inspires me is Nipsey Hussle, but by the way he started. Yeah, rest in peace, Nipsey, man.
Yeah.
But by the way he started his project and the way he left his legacy. So the way Nipsey was done is like he sold his CDs for $100.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? And then Jay-Z bought 100 copies of his CDs.
It's mad. It's so crazy.
The way he marketed himself, but he built his team around his family members and his close friends. So I'm trying to implement that as well, but not through music, because that was his type of, that was his.
That's his lane.
Yeah.
This is yours.
So my lane is going to be through traveling and inspire people to like make it out the hood. So the whole concept of Blackman the Traveler. So Blackman the Traveler is me.
Right.
I travel to certain countries where the media portrays them in a negative way, and I'll go to those countries. But then I make raw, authentic traveling content as well.
Right.
What other travel bloggers won't do. I don't do nothing that's materialistic. And then my clothing line that says Blackman the Traveller, if you ignore Blackman and the word there, think about the word traveller. Everyone is traveling in life to get to a destination. 100. So you're trying to either travel to get to your 9 to 5, achieve your goals. So when you wear my shirt, it's representing your trials and tribulations. So that's overall the whole concept of Blackman the Traveller. Yeah.
I like that a lot.
Thank you.
Because I feel like a lot of people don't actually leave where they're from. I have friends in America that have never left America, and they're they're grown, wife and kids, all of that. And I find that so interesting because your environment really affects you. It builds your personality, it affects how you think, it affects your trials and tribulations, the things you experience, all of that. So for you to be able to embody your story and put it out there in a way where other people can relate, and then on top of that have the hope in there, it's powerful. Because
really and truly, it's like I wasn't fed from a wealthy family. You know what I mean? I started from the bottom. I watched and analysed how certain people grew in the industry through here and through America, and I thought, wow, if you stay in your own lane, but you need to at least make noise in the industry. You gotta make. I think the only way people succeed nowadays is either they do materialistic stuff, or you stay in your own lane and you make raw, authentic content.
And you hope people
people actually relate, and then they can actually, help you grow. So
that's mad. I had a question, but when someone's deep in it and then you just lose. I was very in that.
That's okay.
Okay, let's talk about your favorite place that you visited versus the worst place you visited, whether it be people, whether it be the experience, whether it be the lifestyle.
So the
Tell us
best place
about
I'll be, I've been to too many countries.
Where have you been, by the way? If you can list that would be...
Been to list it.
Go on.
I've been Argentina.
Right.
I've been Brazil.
Okay.
I've been Morocco.
Okay.
I've been Uganda.
Okay.
I've been Tanzania.
Uh-huh.
I've been America.
Uh-huh.
I've been Bahamas.
Mm-hmm.
I've been Turkey.
Okay.
I've been to Italy,
Uh-huh.
France, Spain, Scotland,
Ha.
Sweden,
Mm-hmm.
Poland,
Mm-hmm.
Thailand, Myanmar,
Mm-hmm.
Vietnam,
Mm-hmm.
Indonesia,
Mm-hmm.
Australia.
Mm-hmm. That's 19, guys.
That's all I can know.
But there's probably one or
That's
two
it.
more.
Yeah.
That's
19
mad.
countries. Yeah, 19 countries.
In what time span?
2017 to 2000 until last year.
year.
Because I travelled even in between the pandemic. I didn't care.
Yeah, that's lit.
Yeah.
Oh my god, 19.
Yeah.
You know what? Yeah. I used to tell my friends I want to go to every country in the world at least once.
Yeah.
So I've never met anyone that's gone to more than maybe 3-4 places.
Swear down.
So yeah, 100. Like people go back to regular places because they like familiarity.
Yeah.
So you're the complete opposite of that. You'd rather put yourself in
different.
places where
Yeah.
that's lit.
I'm
But
more different.
yeah, tell us about the best place you've gone to in the
So
worst.
I think the best place I've been to out of the 19, I don't even know if it was 19 countries, but the best place I've been to, I would say Turkey, man.
Okay, why?
Turkey is so, apart from, the only thing I didn't like about Turkey was Istanbul. It's a very materialistic city.
It's tourism, right?
Tourism. And I've been there before
soak it
a
up.
couple of years ago. So I thought, let me go there again. When I came out of Istanbul, I must have hitchhiked from Istanbul to, I was going to Ankara. I made it halfway.
Okay.
Then I got stuck on the motorway because one driver was very cheeky what he done. So yeah, it was dangerous. It was a weird experience. Like basically.
Did we get the story?
Yeah, I'll tell you this. So basically what happened is, so the plan was to go from Istanbul to Ankara.
Right.
It's like a 5-hour, 6-hour journey.
Okay.
And then I must have made a video on YouTube. I don't know if you saw it, but I put it on YouTube. And then I got lost. And then I've got like a sign that says I'm going to Ankara, whatever. People were actually helping me.
Oh, I love that.
And then I made it halfway. And then there was this last drive. He said to me, Ankara is that way. I'm going this way. You exit the car. I was like, what do you mean is that way?
Yeah.
I was like, but you told me you're taking me to Ankara. He said, no. I need to get I said, okay, I'm not going to argue. Because I'm in their country. I got to respect the rules and regulations.
You don't want to get arrested in a land.
I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah,
I'm in
exactly.
Turkey.
Yeah.
So I jumped out the car. My backpack is heavy. So I've chucked the backpack on the floor.
Right.
But I wasn't filming this. So I just filmed when I left the car.
Okay.
And then I chucked it down and I was like, oh, I'm in a bad position right now because it's getting cold, it's getting dark. My battery's low, but thank God I always have a portable charger. So I'm way ahead.
You're prepped.
And I've always got data.
Okay. Cool.
Whenever I travel, I always buy a SIM card in every country. I don't care if it's cheap, expensive, I make sure I got data.
That's good.
And that's the best way to communicate. I don't rely like on Wi-Fi and that. So I'm stuck there. It's getting dark. The dogs are barking. There's like a village behind me.
A whole Turkey.
I'm like, oh, I'm in trouble now. So I was like, okay, I've got 2 ways. I either sleep on the side of the motorway and pray that no one robs me.
Oh my God.
Or I either pray that someone stops.
Yeah.
Or either I get a taxi. So I'm sticking out my farm. Police are driving past me. So they've stopped the car. Like, where are you from? I'm like, London. Okay. But I thought they were going to help me. They just asked me just for a picture. They take a picture of me, I swear to God, and then after they drove off. Every police officer. I had some people that
This is the police?
Yeah, in Turkey, I swear to God. And then literally, a couple other vehicles were driving past and they were doing the same thing. Oh, picture, before like, it was getting dark.
I would have been like, you can get a picture when we arrive.
Mate, I tried, I was like, oh, is it okay if you can drop me to Ankara? Because they were going the same direction.
Yeah. So
But no one really wanted to help me. So anyway, I must have went online. And then I must have typed minicabs, and I was calling every cab station that was in Istanbul because it's basically Istanbul was 3 hours away, and Ankara was 2 hours away because it's so 5 hours.
Dead in the middle.
So I was dead in the middle. So I was like, okay, shit, I need to call someone. I called all the taxis, like cabs, and then one guy spoke English fluently.
Perfect.
I'm like, excuse me, where are you from? I'm from Turkey, but I lived in London. I was like, oh, please, bro, can you help me out?
Yeah.
I gave him my number. Then we're talking on WhatsApp. He's telling me £500. So I'm like, brother, you're 3 hours away, yeah? I'm not paying £500. Oh, no, can do. So then we're trying to negotiate. And then one of the guys that I jumped in his car I was talking to him on Instagram,
Mm-hmm.
and then he said that he's going to come and get me, but he was going to charge me £200, which is a 3-hour journey. I'm thinking, mate, like these guys are going to rip me off. But then it's either I sleep here, so I was like, okay, cool, just come. So the guy was coming, and then the taxi driver somehow put it down to £50. So
Wow.
So he drove 3 hours away from Istanbul. Then it was weird. He got 2 random people to pick me up. Literally, it was dark. It was raining. One guy came with his phone. Yeah, one guy came with his phone. He's like, Amir. And I'm like, how do you know my name? But then the guy's like, come. So I'm walking my backpack, but my camera's on my neck. So I thought, fuck, I'm gonna get robbed. Who's this? But I just thought maybe it's the guy.
Yeah.
I climbed the top of a hill. I ended up in a village. And then there was dogs around me barking, people just staring at me. I thought, oh my God, I'm gonna get robbed over here.
Yeah.
So I was like, how do you know my name? Oh, this guy sent me. Like, it was a cab driver.
Okay.
So anyway, cool. The cab driver's talking. I'm talking to him on the phone. I said, listen, this is a bit weird. I jumped in their car, and I thought literally I'm gonna get kidnapped. So what I done, I know certain words in Turkish. I tried to know like the basic words. So I was like, oh, guli, tishu kule, oh, merhaba, assalamu alaikum, oh, Muslim, yeah,
That's what you have to connect.
Yeah.
Just bring the deen
and
involved.
then literally their guard went low.
Yeah.
So I was observing the body language. Then what I done, I went on Instagram. I said, look, YouTuber. Huh? No, YouTuber, YouTuber. And then I showed them my channel. And then they just started getting happy.
They're thinking promo. They think we're going to be on YouTube.
So what I done, I made a video on my Instagram, put it on my story. I said, yeah, if you drop me off, I'll give you.
We'll do a little something.
So they dropped me off now to a remote place in a petrol station.
Okay.
And then the guy came. I said to him, look, what you done was very weird because you got all this hassle, these guys to pick me up. And then he drove me back. I gave him £50. That was the only weird experience I had in Turkey. But apart from that, outside of Turkey, it was the best hospitable country I've ever had in my life. I'm telling you. Because
I should go, right?
You should go.
Highly recommended?
Highly. Because I stopped around, and then I must have ended up in some village in Cappadocia. And then they let me come to the house. They gave me drinks. Everyone just gave me cokes, like lemonade. Turkish people are so polite.
Yeah.
And then so the whole Turkey journey I was meant to go from Turkey all the way to Syria. That was the original plan. Yeah.
That's so lit.
So the plan was to go from Istanbul all the way to the Turkish-Syrian border. I wasn't meant to go inside Syria because I can't go, but the plan was to go to Syria, the Syrian-Turkish border, and to film the refugee camp. So
that would have been powerful.
Yeah. So the main reason why, I wanted to go there and show people that, look, Syrian people are still suffering.
Yes, how people are
but
living.
I wanted to show the diversity and the rawness, you know what I mean? So eventually my phone got stolen. In Turkey.
The stress.
Yeah. My phone got stolen in Turkey. I was hitchhiking, and then I went to some little village with one American dude that I met. And then I was checking out. It was the day that I was leaving to go to Syria, and then my phone got stolen, and then that was the worst experience that I had in Turkey. But overall, it was the best country.
Best country.
Yeah. And then the worst country, I would say Poland.
Yeah. Actually, that's the video that I watched.
Yeah. Poland is just...
Tell the peoples.
Yes. Bit racial.
It's a bit... But do you know what it is? This is where people start understanding the levels of racism now. Because there's people that are ignorant and their racism might come from culture or, upbringing. And then there's people that are completely... They will get in your way because of you being black or you being Muslim or you being from an ethnic minority, X, Y, and Z. And I think that... Like when I watched your video, of you, I think you went around in Poland and you went asking people like
questions.
You went around asking people like, would you ever be with a black person? What do you think of black people? X, Y, and Z. And I watched it and I was like, whoa, like I know Europe is mad, but it's always a different experience when you're in it.
Yeah.
But
the reason why I done that, actually, I wasn't doing that to show people that Polish people are racist. I done that in terms of to show people the diversity that Polish people hold. So that's the whole concept of that of that video.
Right.
But the experience I had in Poland was, as soon as I came out of the flight from London Stansted into Poland, people just stared at me. I'm like, bro, we're in Europe. And then I'm like, okay. Then I kind of understood. I'm in the majority are Eastern European, Central European people. So I was like, okay, I got to respect the rules and regulations. I jumped in the Uber. Now the Uber driver was from Ukraine. He was humble. I was talking to him. He was playing music. As soon as I came out, I got to my hostel in Warsaw, everyone just stared at me.
Right.
I just kept on getting stares.
Yeah.
And then I had one altercation. I went to one club in Poland, and then one guy tried to pick a fight with me. So I was literally walking, and he just barged me. Then he started swearing in Polish, and I told him, yeah, go F your mum as well.
Yeah. So when the mums get involved, it's long.
So I was like, go F your mum, and then 2 minutes later, big Polish men came, and I was like, I'm not gonna fight you, no way, man. These Polish people eat a lot of food. Yeah. They're big.
They eat.
Yeah. So I was like, I'm gonna leave that, and then a bystander came, and then he said the reason why they done that is because the colour of your skin.
Right.
So that was the worst place that I would probably had that I've travelled.
Despite the experience, would you go back?
100%. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful, beautiful country with a lot of nature. The food is very interesting as well because they got a lot of potatoes, like the food delicacies that they have there. In terms of, I wouldn't say everyone in Poland is racist, but I'm just saying you will get a bit of racial discrimination. I think there's a certain level of prejudice that's just within culture. Do you know what I mean? I think 100%. That's what it is. Like, I think racism is a big term to just slap and generalize because we can't do that. But I think there's certain cultures that just have a level of prejudice. The moment you're just there's a wall up. Period. So. And I don't blame them because obviously maybe they're not used to seeing people of colour in certain parts of their country. But like I said, no one's born racist. So,
right. Facts.
Yeah.
That's mad. Yeah. Do you know what was interesting? You said the moment you landed, people stared at you.
Yeah, they did.
And I think I find that interesting because obviously I wear hijab, whatever, cool. That's kind of just been my life. And so much so to a point where I don't even realise it anymore. Like I can go places in London, or I'll go, like, I had an experience when I went to Germany, and I was in the airport and was about to get on, like, we were just going through, what's it called, security or whatever. And in certain airports you step into the thing, the whooshy thing, and then you walk out, whatever. And then a woman like pulled me aside. Do you know what she did? No, I will never forget this. She grabbed my scarf from the back, and at first I was like, okay, cool. Maybe I don't know why, but maybe they're just trying to see. Maybe like, is it really hair? Is there something there?
This is in Germany, you said, yeah.
This is in Frankfurt.
Yeah.
And then where I thought it would stop, she went to pull. Oh. And then when she went to pull, I grabbed her hand out of instinct.
And
then
away.
When I grabbed her hand, there's a security guard, like a bigger guy. And he looked at me and he started walking over. And I turned around. I was like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And then part of me's like, okay, I'm here on my own. I'm a Muslim woman and I can't fight security in a whole different... And I'm in the airport.
What they're doing to you is racial profiling.
I was so shocked. I was like, she's like, no. And she's like, how do we know that you're not carrying anything under there? I said, huh? So what do you mean? And then my thing was, okay, cool. You want to check me out? Take me to a room. I'll happily whip it off. 5 minutes. Leave. Let me get my flight.
That's too far.
I was like, my pride was hurting because I was like, I need to fight you now, but I can't fight you because I'm in Germany and it's security and it's all like. But
that's the problem because it's like every country has their own culture, and obviously the media portrays certain religions in a different negative way. I had a similar story. I had two similar stories actually. I went to Argentina once, and then I had a Free Palestine t-shirt on.
Palestine, guys.
Free Palestine. So I had a Free Palestine t-shirt on, and then they don't really understand what's really happening amongst the Jewish and the Palestinian community. So I went to Argentina, and then the shirt was so bright, and the free was so bright, and the Palestine flag was there with the peace sign. So I went there just to show a bit of remorse and respect for the people that are suffering. Then they stopped me in the airport, and then they said to me, what's your purpose of coming here? I said, look, I'm coming here for holiday. They were like, okay. They said, what's your name? I said, my name's Amir. This is way before I started to film. I'm talking about, I went there 2015 or 14, like the first time. And then they just put me to the side, asked me certain questions. And then I was like, okay. But then they let me go because they couldn't really do anything. But I think the shirt must have raised alarms. And then there was one incident when I went to Miami the second time, because I've been to Miami about 4 or 5 times. And then I must have stayed there for a couple of months. And then when I was there, I must have had a prayer mat in my briefcase, and then I had the Quran in English, right? Because I can't read Arabic, so I can only read the Quran in English if it's transferred. You know what I mean? I mean translated. So obviously, I must have went there. They asked me where I'm from. I said London. And then because I've been there too many times, they were asking me, why do you keep coming back to America? I'm like, I love your country. I've got no bad intentions to go there. I'm just going just for a holiday, whatever. Right, so what happened is they put me to the side. They said, is this your bag? I said, yes. So they opened up my bag. No, they said to me, can you open your bag for me? No problem. So I opened up the bag, and then all you see is like the prayer mat's folded. And then the guy takes it out. He said, what is this? I said, it's a prayer mat. What do you mean it's a prayer mat? I said, yeah, it's a prayer mat. And the guy's like, oh man, what do you mean prayer mat? I said, it's a religious prayer mat.
Right.
I pray on it.
Right.
You mean like a carpet? I said, yeah, something like that.
So it's something you lay down to pray.
But you know, I'm not gonna be rude. A lot of Americans are uneducated.
Definitely, yeah.
So obviously I had to break it down. I said, I'm Muslim. Muslim? I said, Islam. Oh, Islam? Then his eyebrows lit. Yeah. So as I said Islam, he was with two other colleagues around him. So then their guards started to go up because they're thinking, wow, this guy's got a prayer mat. And you know, with all this international media, whatever.
Yeah.
So obviously, they got the prayer mat and then they found the book. They said, what is this? I said, mate, you can read. He said, yeah. I said, read that for me. He says, the Holy Quran. Yeah, that's what it is. So what is that? I said, it's a religious book. It's part of the 5 pillars of my religion. I couldn't really understand. Literally, they've put me on the side. They took me to a separate room. That's when the interrogation started.
Right.
So I think this was in 2015 or 16. I can't remember. And they were like, why are you here? I said, I'm here to see your country, traveling. Right. They asked me about my name. They asked me the same questions numerous amount of times. But
to see if
I gave them the same answer.
Yeah, that's what it is.
And then what they done name check. They checked everything and then they let me go. That was the only 2 altercations that I had in airports in terms of my traveling career. Yeah.
That's mad.
Yeah.
Airports are the worst. I think if you're Muslim,
Yeah.
Because it's all systematic, innit? So it would just my girl, she was born and raised in Detroit, but she's Libyan. Okay. And she went back to Libya for a little bit, lived there, and then when she came back, they held her in, I think it was isolation for about 5-6 hours.
In
just
the UK?
Because going back home to America from Libya. Okay. And because at the time she left, the civil war had just started.
Yeah.
They held her there for so long, and she wasn't even like a hijabi. It's just the fact that your passport. It's your name. Her name is Arab. It says that you're Muslim on your passport. All of this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Held her there for time. Like, just think, boy.
Sorry, I just want to add one little story for you guys as well.
We
were coming back from Egypt or going to Egypt, and my brother was 11.
Yeah.
11. They stopped him because his name is the same name as a terrorist that was known, and they really wanted to take my brother. My dad said to them, "Are you kidding?"
They have no shame.
Yeah.
They have absolutely no shame.
My 11-year-old son into a room to ask him what questions about.
Feed him whatever madness in his brain.
Travels and all of that.
But this comes back to like the media. You know what I mean? Because that's why I'm trying to travel and show people, look, you don't always rely on the media. When people travel, I'll be honest with you, we live in a very materialistic country and we live in a very materialistic world. Everyone wants to use social media, but then it's like, when you watch my stuff, it's raw, it's authentic.
Right.
So I'm trying to show people, you don't have to travel like everyone. You can do it in the raw, authentic way. You know what I mean? And then it all comes back, sorry to cut you off, it all comes back to education. So your experience, my experience, your experience, it all comes down to education. They're not educated in the right manner.
Do you know what it is? I think though, that excuse can be for the regular person.
Yeah.
I think if you're a professional, and you know whether you're, especially airport security or airports in general, an airport is a place for people coming and going from 101 countries. Do you know what I mean? You're going to see everything and anything, right? I don't think that level of ignorance, obviously we know it's systematic and we know really why they do what they do, but I just don't think it's successful. It shouldn't be used as an excuse at all, in my opinion. I just think the average person, maybe I'll go to someone else's land and they've never seen, like I've had so many situations where I go on holiday and they've never seen a woman covered. And I'm not the most modest Muslim girl out here, like I just about cover my hair, do you know what I mean? I'm just making my way, but okay, cool, people like that, fine. That's my opportunity to educate you now. But a whole professional, whole airport security where you're seeing black, Asian, Muslim, Christian, Jewish.
They know, but they know what they're doing.
They know. 100%.
They know what's right. They know what's wrong because they see different ethnic backgrounds come in and out of those little doors day in, day out. So they know how to behave. But obviously, the way you've experienced, I've experienced, and so forth you've experienced is a bad way.
What I wanted to ask you is, because you've been 19 countries now, we've listed that. Has travelling changed your perception on London and the UK and the people, like the English people, not just the general Brits, before and after you've experienced everything else?
Before I travelled, I was living in a bubble. living in the English bubble, 9 to 5, go home, party, whatever. Then when I moved to Australia, I had to find myself as a person. And then when I started to travel, I started to be more humble. I've humbled myself and I started to re-educate myself because there's certain stuff that I learned through traveling that I never knew through the education system.
Facts,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
So, and there's a lot of stuff that they don't teach you in the education system. You know what I mean? So they just teach you what they want to teach you. So one thing I've learned about traveling, I learned how to humble myself, appreciate life a bit more because I've been to places where people have nothing. Like I went to a favela in Brazil, and then my partner didn't want to come with me, but she just stayed. And then I went up to the favela. Literally, I was scared, but when I saw the way people were living over there, and then I went to a ghetto in Turkey as well, in Istanbul, and the way the Syrian refugees were living and the Kurdish people, the way they were treated. I said, look, man, you need to humble yourself. So I really appreciate my life, and I really humbled myself throughout traveling to all these places.
You learn your privilege.
100%.
Like
100%.
It's mad.
Because before traveling, I had this ego. You know what I mean? I had this ego, this personality. Oh, I'm this, I'm that, because of the way I was brought up in my surroundings, not by my family, but because I was hanging around with people in my area. And all we know is to live in that type of lifestyle. But once you come out of that lifestyle and that bubble, you start to appreciate the elements that you can, you know what I mean, that you have.
How was that transition?
You know, I'll be honest with you, I wasn't too much into the gang type of stuff. You know what I mean? I did skip death a couple of times. People that know, they know. You know, so I've skipped death too many times. But in terms of the transition, it was that moment of my life that I had to leave the country, because obviously Newham was getting a bit more dangerous. Bystanders were getting there, and certain people were affiliated with certain people. But because in the area that I lived in, it was individual personal problems with other people, and I was okay with those people. But because they were just, you hang around with so the transition was easy in terms of leaving the country, but it was the homesickness, all that type of stuff was hard.
The attachments.
Yeah, the attachments. Like, because when I went to Australia, I never came back for almost 3 years. Because I was there for 2 years, and I travelled for 1 year. So I never saw my mum within those 3 years.
Yeah, that's mad.
And before I left, I never said bye, because she was in Africa. Yeah.
Okay.
So literally missing my mum, not seeing my family members, it was a bit hard. But in terms of becoming a man and change, it was one of the best choices I made.
I was going to say, you probably needed that.
100% I did.
Like, because I don't think you would have, even mentally, you wouldn't have the mentality or the foundation of the mentality that you have now if you went anywhere else, or if you did anything else, or even if you stayed.
That's right.
So I think something people don't like is change, and I think that's very innate within us. Like, as humans, we hate change. We hate having to alter our lives or adjust, because we're very easily comfortable, and we like what's familiar. And it takes a lot to, especially being raised in London, going through, even if you weren't involved in that life, if the people around you were involved, anything can happen.
Because everyone lives in a bubble, and nobody wants to come out in their comfort zone. Everyone's too programmed. You know what I mean? Come out your comfort zone. I'm not saying you have to travel, but come out your comfort zone and experience life in a different way. You might change your mindset. You know?
How did or if it ever did, but did traveling ever influence your faith?
My faith?
Yeah.
As in what, religion?
So did it ever make you understand more? Did it ever make you stronger in faith? Did it make you weaker in faith?
I wasn't really that religious when I was young, because both of my family, like my mum and my dad, mashallah, like they're very religious. So I come from a very religious family. Even when I got this piercing, my mum, she went crazy.
Boy.
I got this done in Australia. This was my instinct, but my partner was like, I was like, I don't know. But in terms of faith, I've had situations where I almost died, or even abroad. Like I almost lost my life in the Bahamas.
What, because of the fact that you're Muslim?
No, because it was just a situation.
Okay,
I was trying to get robbed, and then tried to kill me with machete. So that was a weird experience, but I think faith saved me in certain situations. Right. And then when I went to Morocco one time, I was in Marrakesh, so I was in Jalafna Square, and then it was time to pray, the azan. The guy was calling for prayer, and then I was there with my partner, like we were just standing there, and then everybody just stopped work, and then everyone just gathered together in Jalafna Square. This is one of the biggest touristic squares in the world. Bunch of tourists are standing there, they don't care. Everyone gets the prayer mat,
100,
and everyone's praying Salah. So when I saw that, I said, in the UK, I've only seen that in the East London Masjid or the Central Mosque, like when it's like Ramadan.
Yeah, or like Eid times.
Or like Eid.
Yeah.
So when everyone's praying at the same time, they're bowing down, you know what I mean? They're saying the religious words. I'm thinking, wow.
It's unity.
Like, it's unity. So I felt a bit more of a connection with my religion at that moment, because I was like, I've never seen that before. But in terms of, has it helped me grow my religion? I mean, I wouldn't say I'm religious, but I do believe in my religion.
Right.
And I do carry my religion wherever I go.
Facts.
So,
yeah. As it should be.
Yeah.
I feel like even the term religious is very, because a lot of people will look at me and be like, oh, but you're religious, but how you view someone as religious, now I view someone as religious is very different. Do you know what I mean? I think I'm barely scraping the surface. But to somebody else, maybe because I display faith or because I like to talk about it or whatever, for them that's a lot. Whereas for the people I look up to, it's like I'm not even there. I don't even know how I'm looking up, because we're not on the same level.
For me, I see religion like this. Everyone's got a religion. We're all humans. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna say this religion is better than that religion, because
of course,
in our religion we don't have the opportunity to judge one another.
Well, it's not allowed.
And even we shouldn't judge people that's not Muslim. You know what I mean? We're all equal. You know what I mean? But I see it like this: people that preach religion in a negative way, they shouldn't do it in that way. There's a way to preach your religion. You know what I mean?
Religion is best shown through character. The Prophet said that. Do you get it? Peace be upon him. So I think it just the only reason why I wanted to actually ask you that is because I feel like your brand is very focused on your ethnicity and who you are. People don't actually know your faith. Whether that is something you purposely did or not, I still think it's just important because it is who you are, right? Like whether you're up there with it or here or wherever, like it's still you, because you believe in God and you believe in what you do. So
don't get me wrong, I do show my religion in, when I was in Turkey. I was saying Salam Alaikum. It depends on the people that saw the content, but I don't drink. I don't drink alcohol at all.
Mashallah. Same.
You know what I mean?
Gang.
I've tried it a couple times, like just a little sip. I don't drink alcohol.
It's just not for you.
I don't take no drugs.
Good.
So apart from the herb, I know it's a bit negative, but I apologize. But that's one of the things that I'm very strict. I don't drink alcohol and I don't take any other drugs. I don't judge people. You know what I mean?
Right.
But in terms of like when it comes down to religion, I think keep your religion to yourself. If you're gonna implement it in other people, as if it's not in a positive way, there's no point of preaching it.
Facts.
So that's what I see it as.
I agree.
Yeah.
Let's round off. I want you to tell the people where they can find you, everything, socials. I'll link everything in the description, guys. Make sure you check him out. But just plug yourself. And actually, if you have any advice for anybody that might have come from a life that you came from, and you know, because a lot of people want to get out but don't know how to get out, or a lot of people they just want better for themselves but don't know the entry point, or don't know whether it's from a mental perspective. If you have that advice, give it out.
Basically, so what I'm gonna say, first I want to say thank you for putting me on your platform.
You're welcome.
You get me? I respect what you're doing.
Thank you.
You get me? Shout out to what you're doing, and I hope, inshallah, that you achieve your goals.
Inshallah, vice versa, for real.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
and
man.
Second of all, I've got a big project coming out in mid-September, October times.
Okay, end of the year.
I will be going to India for 4 months.
For 4 months?
Yeah.
Wow.
4 or 5 months. I don't know how long, but I'm going to be doing India for 4 or 5 months, and then
Mashallah.
I'll be filming in India, and I'll be showing people that the diversity that country holds.
Right. That's
and then within India, I've discovered that there was a East African community that lived there, a bunch of black Africans, and I had no idea. So I'm going to be going to the village. I'm going to be filming there. I'm going to be sleeping there. I don't know if you've seen Slumdog Millionaire.
Yeah, of course.
So I'm gonna be going to that slum. I'm gonna be sleeping there for 3 or 2 nights, and I'm gonna show people the diversity of what it holds. Then in between India, we'll be doing Pakistan and Bangladesh as well.
Very cool.
And then any words of wisdom, I'll say 2 words. I'll say time and consistency. I'll say use your time wisely.
Sorry, I just had to because that one is.
I'll say use your time wisely. Whatever this time we have right now, we're not gonna get it back.
Facts.
We might film again another day, but it's not going to be raw, it's not going to be authentic. So I say use the time wisely that God gave you. And then when it comes to consistency, I'll be like, be consistent in whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
Even if it's a 9 to 5, if you're trying to achieve your goals.
Consistency is key. Just keep going. 100. Right. Oh, actually, I forgot I was going to wrap it up. But what I like to do is I like to have a riddle at the end.
Okay, cool.
I have 2 riddles for you because I feel like the first one's super easy. But I had to because, you know, it's the travel.
Talk to me.
Alright, cool. The first riddle, guys. Rana, I don't know if you're outside, but I have 2 riddles. She loves to get into them. every
Yeah.
single time. We're part of the riddles now, yeah?
Okay.
Riddles, yeah?
Riddle.
Okay, it's like
Alright.
a game.
I love it. I love a
Yeah,
good
yeah.
riddle.
Alright.
The first one is, I travel all around the world, but I'm always in the corner. What am I? It's quite...
I travel all the way around the world,
Right?
but I'm always in the corner.
Yeah.
What am I?
Yeah.
You travel all the way around the world.
I thought I'd take
Yeah,
that.
you're a passenger.
No. Think about it. I travel all around the world, but I'm always in the corner. What am I?
Come on, Mr. Traveller.
I know this.
I thought this was the easy
Oh,
one.
Mr. Traveller.
Wait, hold on.
All around the
So
world.
what
And you're in the
travels?
corner.
No, it's always in the corner. So what travels everywhere? It can go anywhere.
Bird.
Huh? No, not birds. But it's always in the corner.
A boat.
No, think
Fish.
No, think physically.
Physically.
Yeah, think something that's tangible. Don't think animals.
I'm always in the corner. Your passport?
No, but you're kind of on the right track.
Oh, side bag.
No, side bag. That's lit.
Oh, I thought I could see the corner now.
Side bag. No.
Wait, you said passport.
Yeah, just said I'm on the right track.
Can I ask you a question?
Mhm.
Females or males, do we use this, or is it like
Anyone
unisex?
can use it. It's accessible to anybody. We probably don't use it as much now because of the process, but
Because of the process.
Wait,
Rana, help me out.
Okay, so something.
you guys,
I know it. Are we thinking too much?
I think you're overthinking it 100%.
Something in the corner.
In the corner. It travels everywhere, but it's always in the corner. It's never anywhere else.
Campus.
No. No.
Hold on, wait. It's always in the corner. Wait,
When
this
I
is-
tell you lot, it's
I'm
gonna be
having it,
so
I'm
funny.
okay.
All right, can I ask you a question?
Go on.
Is it always in the aeroplane?
No. Shall I give you? Okay, I'll give you a clue. It can be sent places.
Sense.
Yeah. Normally, if I want to send you something, she's got it. If I want to send you, don't say anything. If I want to send you something, yeah, it travels everywhere, but it's in the corner. Always.
I know what it is.
What?
Letter.
Close.
Oh, you.
Close.
Parcel.
What do you put on?
Box.
No, what do you put on a letter? And it travels.
Paper.
No.
No, that's in the letter. What's on the letter?
Pen. Ink. Envelope.
On the envelope.
Oh, stamp.
Yeah.
Oh, ah, cool.
That was so funny.
No, but I was like pen, paper. Like, it's
Ink.
not.
No, that's lit. Do you want the other one?
Yes, please.
Do you need to
I
redeem
want two more.
yourself?
I want two more. If you got any more.
Okay. What questions can you? Oh, sorry, that was mad. What
Yeah.
questions have? Can I read today? Wow. What question
Yeah.
can you never answer yes to? So it's a question.
What question can I never answer yes to? I don't know. You tell me.
No, that's not it. What question? No.
I can't answer yes to that.
What's your name? Amir.
You can never say yes, can you?
Oh,
That's good. You're thinking,
What
but
question can you never say no to?
No,
yes.
Yes to.
Yeah.
Your age?
No, because I could guess your age and you can say yes. What can you never say yes to?
Family stuff?
You see?
I don't know.
You can tell he's a deeper person. He's going everywhere. This is a physical thing that we all do.
Sexuality?
No. Because I can say, are you gay? You go, yes. Are you straight? You go, yes. What question can you never say yes to?
Is it personal
No.
in your eyes?
No, everyone does it. You can do it. And people, shall I give you a clue?
Okay.
People normally do it at night, but you can do it at any time of the day.
Sleep.
Sex.
She's on the right path. What's the question?
Sleep.
Not sex, sleep. But what's the question?
Can you sleep today?
No.
What? Wait, I'm confused. Wait, I'm a bit
Okay,
weird,
okay.
innit? I'm a bit
You're
weird. I'm a
like
bit
you're
weird.
right there. Like
Sleep.
what? So think the answer is a question, right?
What time you go in bed?
No, because I can respond and say I can
Wait,
give
no,
you.
but she said sleep, so
Okay.
I'm just going
But
to
you're
what
there.
you're saying. I'm getting to what you're saying. Cause
What question can you never answer yes to? So if the topic is sleep, what can I?
In your sleep?
dreams.
No, it's a question. It's a 3-letter. No, it's a 3-word question.
Are you asleep?
Yes. It's are you asleep?
But how does that make sense?
Because
You
if
can't
you,
say yes when you're sleeping.
I'm asleep.
How are you gonna say yes?
So if you're gonna ask me,
Yeah,
are you
you're half
asleep?
asleep though.
Oh my god, the technical difficulties.
Sleep.
But if I'm
Half
asleep,
Alright, cool, my bad. I
Sleep
apologize.
is
I'm weird,
Oh
guys.
my
I'm so
God.
sorry.
It's
Have you got any more? You got
all
one more?
I'll give you
Alright.
what was last week's one? Hold on.
Right, give me one
Last
more.
week's one was a good one.
I'm bad at riddles.
Do I remember last week's one?
Oh,
You
What
do.
is it? Yeah, maybe actually.
Hold on. Oh my god, where is it? Hold on, give me a moment.
I like when people play games. Actually, it's interesting.
Yeah, I love it.
I'm not dumb, by the way, guys. Yeah, I'm just a bit slow sometimes, isn't it? I apologize. My personality's a bit weird.
I mean, if that's what you want to say. I'm playing. Boom. Okay. Oh wait. Do I have it saved? Hold on. Do you remember what it was last week?
No, I'm trying to remember.
I think. Okay, I don't remember if this is exactly what it is, but what? No.
Do you remember the answer?
My brain. Hold on. This was such a good one.
Riddle.
Yeah, it was a riddle. What do you look at but doesn't change? I think that was the question. Yeah.
What do I look at but doesn't change?
What can you see but it doesn't change?
The wall.
Oh, maybe that was
The
wrong
wall.
as well.
The wall. It doesn't change, innit?
Nah.
How can it change?
Nah.
How can it change?
I'm not gonna lie.
Okay,
I'm not gonna lie. I think I have the wrong riddle. I think I might have said the answer in the riddle. What can be seen? No, you know what? It's a wrap, guys.
I apologise. But
alright.
Hopefully that was a good answer.
It was. When I remember it, I will shout you and I'll let you know.
Okay.
But thank you so much for
No
coming
problem,
on. It's
no
been
problem.
so good, guys. Look out for this one. All of his infos, YouTube, his socials will all be in the link. Send me all of that and I'll put it on. But yeah, man, till next time. Stay blessed, guys. Bye. I hate outros as well.